Well, here's some interesting information I stumbled across the other day. It's only going to be a quick little video of this because there's not a lot of information. But I quite often pop over to that They Work For You website and I saw this question being asked by Lord Bassam of Brighton. Have a look. To Her Majesty's Government, how many convictions for failure to pay a TV licence have led to imprisonment in the last 10 years? Well, that's an interesting question, isn't it? It's not one I thought of asking myself, but I'm intrigued to know the answer now that I've read it. Aren't you? And it got a reply from Lord Wolfson of Tredegar. The number of people admitted to prison for failing to pay fines in respect of the non-payment of TV licence in England and Wales in each of the last 10 years can be viewed on the attached table, which we'll have a look at in a second. But it's his next line that's the interesting bit. A person cannot receive a custodial sentence for TV licence evasion, but can be committed to prison for willfully refusing to pay the fine. Imprisonment is only pursued as a matter of last resort. Now, I knew that anyway, and I know loads of you out there know that. But loads of people think that if you have a telly in your house and you don't pay the TV licence, you could go to prison for that, which couldn't be more wrong, could it? I mean, you can have a telly in your house and not require a TV licence, as long as you don't watch or record anything that's being broadcast, or use BBC iPlayer. Starting to sound like my catchphrase, that isn't it? But if you are caught doing something, and the only way that can happen is by getting a knock on your door from one of their goons and grassing yourself up. If you just closed the door and didn't talk to them, they wouldn't know what you're doing. You shouldn't be watching anything you shouldn't be watching. But the only way they would know and get you into trouble for doing it is if you tell them or you let them into your house. If you just close the door, they can't find out anything at all. But if you get caught, you get a fine. And if you just flat refuse to pay the fine, that's when you could get a custodial sentence. But we have the answer for it here. Have a look at this. Right, so you can see from this table that he's sent over that it's dropped every year apart from 2012 when it went up by, 5 people. But then it's drop. And obviously, because of what's been happening in the world the last couple of years, it's dead low indeed. 2018 was before what's happening in the world this year. Only 5 people in England and Wales received a custodial sentence over TV licence offences. 2019, 2 or fewer. 2020 was none. None at all. Now, I like to think that none is because I've been telling people to close the door and not speak to these people, but I would imagine it's because there's been a damn sight less door knocking in 2020 because of what was going on in the world. But I want to see this continuing to be none. And I'll keep an eye on this. I'll come back to this in like 6 months or something, and I'll do an FOI request for how many people were convicted in 2021, because it doesn't say there. I'd be interested to know if that's also none, because my mission in life is to keep that as none, completely zero. And it's important to remember, and it's important to help as many people as possible understand, which is where you come in, that if you do get a knock on the door because you're not paying your TV licence, is to never speak to the people. The goons, the door-to-door salesmen, or the enforcement officers, as they like to call themselves. They like to use the word officers so they sound important. They're not. They're bloomin' duster salesmen that knock on people's doors trying to sell something we don't need. But as long as you don't talk to them and you just shut the door, there's nothing they can do. They can't gain any evidence to get anything against you if you don't talk to them. Just close the door. Say, be polite, say no thank you, just get the door shut. And we need to help as many people as possible understand that, really, don't we? And we can keep that number at 0 all the way until the charter is torn up in 2027 and we can kiss goodbye to the TV licence fee completely. So what do you think about that? Not my longest video with the most information, granted, but I stumbled across that. I thought it was interesting. I thought we could talk about it. So let me know what you think about all this down in the comments below, and any ideas you've got of how we can reach more people to let them know to not speak to the bloody door-to-door salesman enforcement officers. You know, any ideas you've got, I'll look at them. If it means spending a few quid on leafleting or social media campaigns, I'm quite happy to do it. I just need some good ideas of how we can reach as many people as possible. So let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in another video again soon. Thanks for watching.